of the people who were formerly enslaved. We get a sense of their voice. We get a sense of their desires, their goals, their dreams, their hopes, and then watch them all get whipped away with leather. Gentry and others involved in the project say the records will allow all Americans to learn how the United States transformed society after slavery ended. It's not transformed. However, of course, they stress that they will need the public's help to index all the records, which they believe could take 6 to 9 months. So it's going to be like wiki slaves. And because of this whole Rachel Dolezal thing, you'll be able to report white people you don't like and say that they're actually black and were formerly owned. That's right. Organized near the end of the Civil War and following the passage of the 13th Amendment, the Freedmen's Bureau operated from 1865 to 1872 in 15 states and the District of Columbia. It opened schools, managed hospitals, rationed food and clothing, and even solemnized marriages. Oh, the gay folks are going to be up our asses about that. Well, subsequently, as a result, it did collect information on millions of people. Sharon Leslie Morgan, founder of Our Black Ancestry Foundation. Yes, a nonprofit that aims to provide resources for African-American genealogical research, said that the indexing is very important and will give some people a sense of confidence as they learn about their family's triumphs and struggles and find those frickin' accountable. Well, prior to 1870, of course, U.S. Census, black people were classified as property without last names. Damn straight. And it's funny, one of our most prominent black folks right now has done the same thing to herself. It's not Oprah Winfrey, it's just Oprah. Oh, that's right. They were classified as property without last names. Finding information about black families before that year is extremely hard, she said. In addition, the records, which will now be online, were before only accessible by physically visiting places such as the National Archives and reading through hundreds of pages. There is a longing inside all of us as human beings have to know where we came from and who we belong to. Oh, that was a fun choice of words.
Yes.
Following Friday's announcement, volunteers will work with Family Search, the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, and the Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society, and, holy shit, the list goes on and on. And the California African American Museum. Really? They have one of those?
Yes.
I guess you'll find anything in California. Except water. Yes, the California African American Museum to make the histories easy to find for free online searches. Tom Reed of Family Search said. Keisha Bentley Edwards, a professor at the University of Texas at Austin. Here we go, Texas news. Yeah. There we go. Yes, who studies race, adolescence, and academic and social development, thinks the records will make some feel more confident and others outraged and violent. Of course, when you're able to look at your own family and see the triumphs that may have occurred in your family, both as a result and despite of slavery, I think it'll be a very empowering experience, she said. But there is that element that there could be powder kegs ready to go off. And Mark O'Connell, a psychotherapist who researches and writes about identity, adds that people of all races find power in family histories. The more connected we are to something strong and heroic and made up from our ancestors, of course, the more we can feel capable of being that way in our own lives, he said. Meanwhile, Morgan has spent a lifetime actually, researching her family roots, discovering the name of a black great-grandmother born around 1800. and a white great-grandfather born in 1670. Guess she won't be applying for the NAACP job.
Yes.
See, they're thinking this is all good. They're thinking, oh, this is great, black culture and black this and black that, and the sucky part is, isn't it? There's always two sides to every story, and with every bit of good you're going to uncover in your histories,
yes,
well, you're going to uncover the bad. Well, apparently, in order for us to deal with contemporary issues that we have today, those being racism, black boys being shot down in the streets after threatening the lives and attacking policemen, you have to confront the past, she said. The land was stolen from Native Americans. Oh, yeah, like you care about the Indians. Come on. Yes, the land was stolen from the Native Americans. The labor was provided for free by African slaves. Hey, interesting tidbit there, negress. No, Gilbert, this whole story has got me really pissed off because you know what? 200 years.
Yes.
Yeah, 200 years before you black-ass slaves were over here. I'm gonna enlighten you on a little something.
Yes.
Who do you think they were using for slaves before you all came along? They were using Irish children, bitch. Yeah, so cry me a frickin' river, mamie. Yes, you have to confront the past, she said. Well, confront that, baby.
Yes.
Yes, that land was stolen from the Native Americans. The labor was provided for free by African slaves. And Irish 200 years before you! The entire foundation of American capitalism is based on slavery. Uh-huh. And unlike you, we just accept it and move the F on. Yes, on a free labor market, people don't want to deal with that, and you have to. Well, stuff your black shit up your ass. No, I don't. That's right. And that's how I am ending this weekend show. That's right. Stuff it up your ass. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of stuffing things up people's asses this weekend. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get into that sodomy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Louis, you didn't say much today, but...
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, that's okay, but it could have been worse, and, it wasn't, so thank you. Yeah. Thank you for being here today. Yeah. It's good having you.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
All right, good. And, of course, Gilbert, Cary Grant, Scent of a Woman... Well, thank you, my friend, for being here. It's great to have you again.
Thank you for listening and support the show
for the love of God. Yes. And, of course, all you listeners out there that have stuck with us for the last 2 hours and 15 freaking minutes... Well, that's it. I told them I was bringing them a 2-hour show today, and, well, you got 15 minutes of bonus racial hatred. There you go. I'd like to thank HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, of course, for having us here this Friday, the June 19th, of course. 85 Central Park right now. Get out there and play some Frisbee or something, or beat up some white people. You can do it. It's all free. Hey, and special thanks to, of course, Paulie B, Apocalypse, the one, the only, Devlon Crawford, Sharon Chesley. Yeah, we'll talk later. The intern and the topless intern.
Yes.
And, topless Jenny and everybody. Just have yourselves a great weekend, and we will catch you Monday for the Monday Mocha with more racial stuff. Yeah. Have a good one.
Hi, I'm Gil Fulbright. The people that run my campaign, they've made this commercial, and I'm in it. This campaign, it's not about me. It's about crafting a version of me that'll appeal to you. A version that visits random work sites with paid actors pointing at things. A version of me that doesn't find old people loathsome or pointless. Has a conventionally attractive yet curiously still family. Listening to my constituents, legislating, these are things I don't do. What I do is spend about 70% of my time raising funds for re-election. I'd do anything to stay in office. My name's Gil Fulbright, but hell, I'll change my name to Phil Goldbright or Bill Fulbright or fill up my mouth with farts. These are the things that are important to me. And these are the fine people that finance my campaign. Now, in order to do these things, I have to stay in office. And to stay in office, I have to keep these guys happy. Now, if any of these things make these guys unhappy, well, my hands are tied. So come November, the choice is clear. You want another spineless mouthpiece for special interest and lobbyists? Or a spineless mouthpiece for special interest and lobbyists? I'm Philip a Mouth with Farts, and I approve this message.
Well, how was that for a weekend, gang? I thought it was a pretty goddamn good one myself. Yes, I did. That's right, you got it tuned. Yes, you do. HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. It's your coffee and cigarettes today. Yeah, Monday Mocha. For this Monday, the 22nd of June, 2015. That's right. 87 degrees right now in New York Central Park under mostly sunny skies. And hey, that's a good thing, isn't it? I thought it was a good thing. Let's see, what do we got to get to today here on the big show? Well, we're going to tell you about the Pentagon. Yes, our Pentagon. Yeah, the one right here in good old USA. Paying Syrians. Yes, they're paying Syrians $400 a month to fight ISIS. Yeah. I'm thinking with the jobless situation in this country, why don't you pay us, I don't know, $2,000 a month. We'll go do it. Yeah. As if we need more bills. Well, hey, after those Charleston killings last week, of course, debates ensue on taking down the Confederate flag. Yes, because that's clearly the issue. Yes, and protests and walks, of course, are going on today for those church victims as well. We'll tell you about the traffic bottlenecks and the bridge closures. Also today, more New York killer news from new reports that are out citing they found the DNA of the escapees in a burglarized cabin. Yes, they're hot on that trail. And, of course, the big news. Supreme Court cuts the string on Spider-Man toy inventor's patent. Oh, my God. Spider-Man news. We got it here. Yes. All that and so much more today. So, hey, come on in, grab a cup, have a seat, light one up, gang. It's coffee time. Yes, it is. It is your coffee and cigarettes. Yes, for the Monday Mocha, of course. Yes, nice, dark, and chocolatey, just like all kinds of racial nastiness going on inside your cup. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that in there. It just seemed kind of apropos in some strange kind of way. But hey, welcome to the show today. Big show today. Lots of stories to cover. And, of course, the best way to facilitate that to you is to have a topless girl in the booth today by the name of Jenny McCartney, pushing the buttons, making the show go today for you in your listening pleasure from live, from HTLA Studio 2 at Times Square 2. Yes, no, that's not some sort of Einstein equation. Yes. Oh, Times Square 2. Yeah, that's it, yeah. No, that's the frickin' address. And speaking of addresses, we got a new address. Yes, a website address for you. NewYorksBestTalk.com. That's where it's at now. HTLA Radio 1 is overdone and gone because too many people got confused with that number 1. Well, is that ONE? Is it the number, like the number, or do you have to type out THENUMBER1? What is it? Too confusing. Now it's easy. NewYorksBestTalk.com. There you go. New website there. Hit that up. It's still under construction as the powers that be are working feverishly day and night, getting it going for you. But it's looking pretty sweet, and that's the new home. Yeah. So, also today, I do have to say that today's show is, of course, brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City. Now, those 8 fine locations in the city to serve your coffee and baked goods needs. And indeed, now more and more locations popping up all over the USA. Tim Hortons, always fresh. And, of course, the PreSonus 2442 digital broadcast mixer that Jenny is using today. It's just the cat's meow. It's the best thing since sliced bread. You got to get one if you don't got one. Get on over to PreSonus.com. Check out all their gear for professional digital and analog audio. There's only really one place to go. PreSonus.com. There you go. So get on over there. Well, hey, I don't know about you all, but I had a pretty smoking good weekend, and of course, it was Father's Day. Yes, I had a good Father's Day, too. Thanks for asking. Yeah, nobody cares. Okay, well. Moving on today, we got to introduce our guest / co-hosts in the show every day for you on Coffee and Cigarettes. Of course, the first one hailing all the way from Mill Bay Studios in beautiful Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada. Is the one, the only, the man who needs no introduction, but I got to do one every time because nobody knows who the hell he is. The one, the only, Louis Lawless.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yes, the fact that nobody knows who you are because you never actually won that Academy Award, of course. That would be the problem there. Had you won, well, people probably still wouldn't know because who pays attention to the directors? Yeah.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
You can go right ahead there. Sure, we got that 20-second delay. I was going to say 20-minute delay. And sometimes, Louis, it seems like when we're talking about the stories, it seems like you're on about a 20-minute delay, but it's only a 20-second delay. So there we go.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
That's right, and we'll get into lots of sex today. Have no fear.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
No, I'm just not going to go there.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut.
Okay, all right, that's good. We'll get going.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
All right, well, moving on. Of course, today we're going about 8 blocks down the street from number 2 Times Square, which is where we're going to find the one, the only Gilbert the Godfrey. Give us an intro.
And this is that up.
Oh. I figured we were going to be good this week.
Yes.
I figured you were going to have your shit together, and you would, it was going to be good, but
everything that could go wrong goes wrong.
Okay, well, I mean, you can say that, but Jesus Christ, grab some professionalism, dude. Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
But I love every second of it.
Well, and that's why we keep asking you back day after day, week after week. Yes, that is. Well, welcome to the show, of course, today. Glad to have you here. Thank you. Yes, good to have you. And Louis, same with you. Louis, are you?
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
No, see, he's on that 20-minute delay again. Yeah. So, yeah, Gilbert, lots of news going on.
Yes.
Lots of new stuff. Of course, the new website.
Yes.
That is NewYorksBestTalk.com. Go check that sucker out.
Yes.
And, yes, it's now with Les Arnold. It's a new improved HTLA website now with Les Arnold. There you go. So it should appeal to all the Weight Watchers folks.
Yes.
And, yeah. But yeah, it's cool. It's together. It's coming together.
Yes.
It's not too bad. You've been there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what? I don't know. Should I actually go there? What do you think about it, Gilbert?
Oh, it's not awful, but just not good.
No. Okay. Well, what do you want me to do? I didn't make the goddamn thing. So Well, don't look at me.
Yes.
There you go. That's all I'm going to say. Fine. I don't know. I thought the yellow and the gray was good.
Yes.
The chrome and little bits of color and things.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. Well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to carry on with the damn show and just never mind that stuff. Yeah. Another thing I do have to mention, which is kind of cool, I got to say, we put in, I guess, 2 or 3 months ago. There's this new platform out there called Universal Radio.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were doing a little promotional thing where they would, you send in your show clips and excerpts and whatnot for a chance to be embedded into one of their promo commercials.
Yes.
Well, I'm happy to say, and I don't know quite how, but we won. I really don't. We actually used an intro clip from this show.
Yes.
And don't worry, you're not in there, so we don't have to pay you. But we used an intro clip from this show and sent it along to them, and we're definitely signing up for the platform. It's some new streaming platform.
Yes.
Where they actually take your podcast or your audio content or what have you, and they're like a radio station. I think they said to us, think of us as your antenna.
Yes.
To which, of course, my first question was, well, how big is it? But anyhow, they selected our submission for the promotion.
Yes.
For their opening setup of commercials to market this new platform, which launches on July 1st.
Yes.
And well, here's what they sent us back. This is one of the commercials that's actually going out for this new series of global streams all over the planet. And yeah, this is pretty big deal. So shut the hell up and pay attention, Gilbert.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Okay, well, hey, that's it. So all that and so much more today.
Oh man, this is hysterical. Never has serious news been so entertaining.
What are you doing anyway?
I'm listening to the most amazing new broadcast site ever. They stream talk shows, music, informational programming, everything, 24/7, 365. I can't shut it off.
Well, what's it called? Can I listen on my phone?
Oh, definitely. You can download the mobile app right now from the website. It's free. It's Universal Radio at uradiolive.com.
Cool. So, where are the shows from?
Everywhere. It's the biggest stream of broadcast anywhere in the universe.
Hey, my friend actually has an internet radio show of his own. I wonder if his show's on there.
Well, if it isn't, you better tell him to go to uradiolive.com and register his broadcast. He'll love it. They're the only broadcast platform offering real advertising opportunities to shows, not just the sites hosting them like everyone else.
Oh, that really is far out. I know he's been wanting to make the move from amateur to pro for a while now, but there's no other site out there for him to do that.
Well, that's what makes Universal Radio the future of radio. They not only bring the best entertainment to the listener, but they have standardised and raised the bar for internet broadcasters, so they have a chance of soaring among the stars too.
What was that web address again?
uradiolive.com. Universal Radio. It's where the stars are.
Well, there you go. That's official. It's where the goddamn stars are. Well, hey, isn't that cool, Gilbert?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yes.
Now, come on, it's more than you got. What do you? God damn it!
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Oh, you mindless freak. Really? So that's it? You guys really aren't impressed at all with our great big announcement?
I'm in bed.
Okay.
I love to dance the tango.
All right, so I'll get on with the stories, yeah. Actually, before I do, I got to do some shout-outs and salutations, of course, to people that actually care about this station, you ass. Of course, the one and only HTLA topless cheerleader herself, Sharon Chesley. Yes. The amazing 14-inch in length man, Paulie B. That's right. They're in the Spreaker.com chat room. Yes, they are. You can join them, too. It's fun. It's easy. It's free.
Yes.
Get yourself on over to Spreaker.com and, just look up HTLA Radio 1. Boom, you'll be all over us like poop on a penis in a prison. Yeah. There we go. So welcome to the show, guys. Good to have you here as always, and I'm sure Devlon Crawford is out there somewhere flaunting that G-string. Yeah. And there.
I remember being on your radio show in Chicago.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no.
And I remember, too, when we were in the alleyway, pants zipped up.
Of course, yeah.
There was this one, sleazy-looking guy who walked by.
Alec Baldwin.
Who was staring at us.
Yeah.
And you turned around, and, he was what? What? What's your problem? And you said, you don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay, thanks. That's enough. Holy shit, Jesus. Man, you that laugh, you just go and go and go. Well, yeah, I do remember that, and of course, that's the way it should be. That's how I roll.
And I remember, and this is why I feel I have a real connection with you, because in the alleyway,
yeah,
when that's the beginning, she bent over in the alleyway, and you inserted yourself,
right.
And then she started to blow me, and my erection was kind of a semi-erection because I kept looking at you.
Yeah, why?
So when you're standing there trying to get a blowjob and looking at us really hard, and then I remember,
oh boy,
I had a hotel room.
Oh yeah.
So we both went up there. And you went first.
Of course. I don't know.
You are my opening act.
No, I'm your hero. Let's. Oh man, you do tend to kind of keep bringing that up, and you leave a lot of parts out that you shouldn't, maybe.
Yes.
And this whole thing about staring at me while you're getting a blowjob, the big flaming letter question is why?
That was a mistake on my part.
You weren't there.
Yes.
Which woman are you married to or living with now?
Why are we on me all of a sudden? What? See, Gilbert, your stories always bring out the worst in people. No,
and now I have to bring up that piece of trivia that everyone feels like they're telling people that they don't know.
Can we just skip that and maybe start a story before the first commercial? Can we? Can we do that? Do you think?
Yes.
Okay, you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Well, welcome to the big show again today because I'm so discombobulated from the blowjob story. But hey, it's a fun time had by all, and just like the pretty girls going out with the ugly fat friends so that they look better. Yes, I have to admit I do the same. I take Gilbert out, and I always get the right end of the deal. I do. Well, moving on today, of course, we got to get into some stories here before, the first bloody commercial and zero content for the start of the show. We've got people here waiting, you little doofus.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, he's all serious now.
Yeah.
Well, the Pentagon, yes, your Pentagon, yours and mine, is paying Syrians $400 a month to fight ISIS. You know, you get what you pay for. You know all those movies out there about hitmen, you know, the Professional,
yes,
and the Bourne series, and all those the American Sniper.
Yes.
Well, you know when you go out and hire those guys, you know they're talking, you know, 50,000, 100,000.
Yes.
They're talking a couple of million depending on the target.
Yes.
And we're paying these idiots $400 a month. You know, you really have to ask the question: how much is America concerned about ISIS?
Yes.
Really? Because this is like this is not even the tax on the government's hobbies. $400 a month per soldier to go and fight ISIS, and the idiots are doing it.
They get fucking crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
So the $400 a month makes them feel better? Well, in Washington today, the Pentagon has begun paying modest stipends to the Syrian moderates it hopes to field in the fight against the Islamic State militants. The military has confirmed today. Training of the first group of around 90 fighters began last month. They will be paid stipends of, not even $400, $250 to $400. Yes. Oh, well, this I guess pretty much qualifies it and tells us everything we need to know right here. Depending on their skills.
Yes.
Yeah, says Navy Commander Elisa Smith, a Pentagon spokeswoman, preparing the recruits for battle is expected to take several hundred years. Well, the Pentagon expects to have 3,000 fighters trained by the year's end, Smith said. The goal is 12 months and 5,400 strong. She declined to say how many are currently being trained for operational security. We will not announce when coalition-trained Syrian opposition forces enter into Syria, she said. Well, that wasn't the question. Well, the training program itself, branded, quote, critical by the Defense Secretary Ashton Carter, was delayed by several months because finding and vetting fighters who will adhere to laws of war and pledge to conduct themselves properly has proved difficult. Well, training, of course, is taking place in countries that neighbor Syria, including Jordan. About 6,000 Syrians have volunteered for the program because $250 a month is more than they were making yesterday. More than 4,000 of those trainees are awaiting to be vetted, Smith said. Recruiting continues. The effort to field competent trained forces in Iraq to battle militants. See, here's the damn thing.
Yes.
Why do we have to have these crack commandos, which we obviously won't have from these idiots we're farming?
Yes.
To go fight more idiots from pretty much the same farm? You know, I mean, you got your sand spiders.
Yes.
Right? You got your sand spiders. You got your is sand spiders and your is not sand spiders.
Yes.
All right. So let me get this straight. We're paying $250 to $400 a month to pay the is not spiders.
Yes.
To go and fight the is spiders. Right? So that's what we're doing, and we're sitting here getting picky about them because they're just don't have enough skills. Well, then I would submit the question, if it pleased the court. ISIS shouldn't be that hard to defeat. I don't.
Power, that's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Well, I'm not even seeing a corruption of power here. I'm just seeing some kind of a joke program. Well, the effort to field those competent trained forces in Iraq to battle militants from the Islamic State known as is and is ill has also been slow. ISIS swept through northern Iraq and large portions of eastern Syria last summer, seizing key cities. Iraqi forces have succeeded in taking back some of them, including Tikrit, but were chased out without a fight from Ramadi last month. They're coming, they have guns! Well, the Syrian moderates will be equipped with small arms and trained to maneuver and communicate. Oh, there's a neat thing. Yeah. Their primary mission, of course, will be to protect their towns and villages from ISIS fighters. Eventually, they're also envisioned to become a viable opposition to the regime of President Bashir Assad. Civil war has shattered the country, killing 220,000 people to date and forcing millions from their homes. Carter also acknowledged last week that the effort to field thousands of trained Syrian moderates has gone, slower than expected. Yes, our train and equip mission in Syria has been challenging, he said, but the requirement for capable and motivated counter-ISIL ground force that also means we must persist in our efforts. Meanwhile, U.S.-led air coalition war against ISIS targets continues. Airstrikes on Sunday hit ISIS targets in Syria and Iraq, including groups of fighters and their, vehicles. It will take out their 1966 Impalas.
Yes.
That'll straighten it out. Last week, the Pentagon reported that ISIS fighters, or anti-ISIS fighters, had captured the ISIS territory in northern Syria. Marine Brigadier General Thomas Widley told reporters that Syrian Kurds, Arabs, Turks, and non-Kurdish Christians have been making significant gains in the region, cutting the ISIS supply lines. Wow. So those little sand spider anti-isn'ts are doing better than you ever did. Okay.
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
Yeah, how's it doing in the desert? Well, listen, gang, we're going to go for our first commercial break.
Yes.
But don't you worry. When we come back, we're going to, get into some Charleston goodness. It's a good chew.
Yes.
That's right, the Charleston Chew when we come back in 2.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions? Abundant with rich, fertile soil. What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
I stood outside assessing the situation. I knew it could be rough in there, but how rough, there was no way to know for sure.
Hey, guys.
Daddy, it's pink!
But hey, a new house, it's a blank canvas, and we got a great one, thanks to a really low mortgage rate from Navy Federal Credit Union.
Pink?
So she's a princess. You got a problem with that?
Hoorah! Hoorah!
4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out, we never style, we never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Hi, I'm Melvin Leroy with the camera and the thing and the person with the and I'm Melvin Leroy.
Yeah.
You want to stand in front of the and I'll go action.
Okay, we are back on the Crazy Whack Job show.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yes, it is.
$88,000 a year they make, approximately average, 80s, let's say. And there's 1,000. That's $88 million a year that we're paying as taxpayers.
Okay, all right. I'll go with you on that, Louie, and maybe do you one better with following up with what the Christ are you talking about?
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
Yeah, that'll happen. It really will. It's it's a constant danger. We just we need to. Well, you see, Gilbert, that's actually why we have old folks' homes. We take those men and women after they've outlived their usefulness, and we get them into a program where they can't bother anybody, and more importantly, they can't get on radio shows. Yeah.
And I finally figured out how to edit.
Oh, you did you? Okay. How about the sex?
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
Welcome back to the big show. Today, your HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. Your coffee and cigarettes for this Monday, 22nd of June, 2015. Yes, it's officially summer now. We got schoolgirls in the live Spreaker.com chat room, shoveling snow for your picture-taking needs. Yes. And, of course, what was it? Yesterday, of course, was Father's Day, the Sunday.
Yes.
And, of course, the 22nd being today is, of course, as we all know and dearly love, is No Panty Day nationally.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you'd like to get your picture of HTLA cheerleader Sharon Chesley out there in her schoolgirl outfit and skirt with no panties, come get a pic. Yeah. Yes, and of course, to do that, get on over to Spreaker.com, look up HTLA Radio 1, you'll slam right into her. Yeah. Yeah, I had a good Father's Day, actually. Thanks for asking, you little bastard.
Yes.
Yeah. It was good. It was much love shared by all.
How many different families do you have?
Well, currently, Louis, 7 with... I have, I've actually, 8 children and maybe another one on the way. Yeah. That's spanned across 4 women, 5, 5 women, and
you being Catholic, you realize that you can have birth control. You realize that?
Well, it just feels wrong. I've told you. Well, of course, we also got to welcome HTLA promotions specialist, the one, the only Apocalypse. He's also in there, and maybe he actually helped get us the Universal Radio gig.
Yes.
I don't know. And once again, for those of you just joining us, there's a new platform coming along. It launches July 1st.
Yes.
And it's U Radio. Yes, Universal Radio. They're a streaming company. They provide podcasters, broadcasters, and various, other assorted rejects.
Yes.
They provide world streams, and apparently, according to the the hype and the bullshit, apparently they're actually they found a way to bring real, not fake or cardboard cutouts like North Korea. They found a way to bring real advertisers and real advertising dollars to people's podcasts.
Yes.
and various internet broadcasts.
Yes.
And they're what it was, I guess I'll get into the story where it pertains to us. Just ramble on for days about this crap. No, but we a couple of months ago we got invited to take part in a thing where we could submit show clips and various things.
Yes.
To them because they're doing, of course, I guess their radio imaging and branding.
Yes.
And they were doing up a bunch of commercials, and one of the things that they offered to us to do is submit for potentially being involved in one of their first commercials at their launch.
Yes.
And, ultimately we were accepted, and just yesterday, actually, they sent through the commercial that we're going to use, which is the coffee and cigarettes commercial.
Yes.
And again, yes, I've also stated that, Gilbert isn't in the clip, so we don't owe him anything. Got to be very clear about that. But these guys, it's pretty slick.
Yes.
The website, there's only a page showing right now with some of the details, but it's pretty slick.
Yes.
They got this countdown thing to D-Day.
Yes.
But yeah, check this commercial out. This is your coffee and cigarettes coming up on Universal Radio. Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, that's it. So all that and so much more today.
Oh, man, this is hysterical. Never has serious news been so entertaining.
What are you doing anyway?
I'm listening to the most amazing new broadcast site ever. They stream talk shows, music, informational programming, everything, 24/7, 365. I can't shut it off.
Well, what's it called? Can I listen on my phone?
Oh, definitely. You can download the mobile app right now from the website. It's free. It's Universal Radio at uradiolive.com.
Cool. So, where are the shows from?
Everywhere. It's the biggest stream of broadcast anywhere in the universe.
Hey, my friend actually has an internet radio show of his own. I wonder if his show's on there.
Well, if it isn't, you better tell him to go to uradiolive.com and register his broadcast. He'll love it. They're the only broadcast platform offering real advertising opportunities to shows, not just the sites hosting them like everyone else.
Oh, that really is far out. I know he's been wanting to make the move from amateur to pro for a while now, but there's no other site out there for him to do that.
Well, that's what makes Universal Radio the future of radio. They not only bring the best entertainment to the listener, but they have standardised and raised the bar for internet broadcasters, so they have a chance of soaring among the stars too.
What was that web address again?
uradiolive.com. Universal Radio. It's where the stars are.
Oh, yes, it is. Shut up, you little prick. Oh, it's where the stars are. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the British deal. I don't know. Well, I guess I don't know where they're from, maybe. But anyway, yeah, we got in on that. We got well, of course you gotta pay for it. It ain't free. We picked up one of their packages there. They got packages. Yes. Gilbert has package too, but it's tiny. Yeah. Yeah, they got packages there, and you'll be able to pick them up too and throw your garbage on there too. But yeah, uradiolive.com, that's the website. That's where they're launching from, and I believe the countdown today is sitting at 8 days, I think, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, oh, yeah, geez, it's the 22nd. It's on the 1st. Well, what do you want? You know, I'm just that kind of guy.
The music is fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Yeah, well, I would love to hear it, but we need to get on with the damn show. We're late for our NAACP offering. Yes. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let's get to HTLA's Traffic Copter 1 and Brock Favors. Brock, are you up there?
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with Traffic on the Ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today, so I am filling in for my usual land reports, and I'm up here in the chopper, but I got to tell you guys, I am loving the view. Oh, my God! Oh, no, stop! Oh! Yeah. All right. Well, we are over the 10, and it's massively clogged down there like a pint of maple syrup on a cool November morning. Oh, goddamn, we're gonna die in this mother. Oh my God! Woo! Okay, I am very sorry, folks. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride up here. We are now approaching the 405, where the left lane is blocked by a mattress. So somebody is going to be doing a little return to IKEA later today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, please! Oh, goddamn! Oh, get me out this motherfucking death machine right now! Oh, no, black people ain't meant to be in the sky! We ain't meant to be in the sky, man! Oh, mama, help me, mother. Oh, my God! When a 405 is up right now, ain't nobody going down this. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, folks. I'm very sorry, but I'm losing my up here.
Actually, you have every right to. We're about to crash.
Well, once again, HTLA would like to offer our condolences to the Favors family.
Yes.
There he is, and that was your Traffic on the One for HTLA today, and yeah, the 405 looks really messed up today. Guess we'll have to, I don't know, move the mattress.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yeah, oh, right, yeah, oh, shit, I've got stories to do here. Yeah. Well, that's right. Back to the stories, of course. After the Charleston killings, of course, South Carolina debates taking down that Confederate flag because, you know, it did it. Well, South Carolina lawmakers today are debating whether to remove the Confederate flag from the state government grounds after Wednesday's killing of 9 black church members by a white gunman who allegedly expressed racist sentiments. Governor Nikki Haley will speak at 4 p.m. today as lawmakers grapple with, that's in like 17 minutes. As they grapple with whether to make changes immediately or wait for what promises to be an emotional debate. Meanwhile, local officials and national civil rights activists have demanded the flag's removal. President Obama reared his ugly head. He said the flag should be removed and placed in a museum. Well, I would further add that President Obama should be removed and placed in a museum. Well, it's time for the flag to come down, says Mark Morial, president of the National Urban League. I wonder if that's black-related. Public sanction of the symbols of division and hatred does not create an atmosphere of reconciliation, he says. The Confederate flag became a focus of attention after Charleston's killings Wednesday because it harkens back to the Civil War, which clearly had everything to do with this gunman, the 9 dead black people, the church, the car. Yeah, it's all directly linked, of course, to the Civil War.
Yes.
Of course, the Civil War was when slavery ended, unfortunately. Yeah, supporters of the flag contend it's historically significant as a memorial to Confederate soldiers who died while fighting for the South. Well, yeah, it makes goddamn sense to me. But, of course, the black critics say it, of course, promotes racism.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Dylan Storm Roof, 21, is charged with shooting members, including Reverend Clementia Pinnicky of Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church after complaining that blacks were taking over the world. Yes, and that some needed to do something about it for the white race, according to a friend who alerted the FBI all too late. Well, the Urban League announced today a campaign to encourage South Carolina legislators to end public displays of the Confederate flag. And really, why not? Because, you know, there's certain Supreme Court rulings all across this country to end the American flag as it is now. Yeah. Yeah, so let's just piss on everything. Can we raise Iran's flag?
Yes.
How about we do that? Why don't we do that and then just kill all these black uprisings? Well, hey, it's what ISIS would do. Yes. The One Nation, One Flag campaign will now instead seek to promote unity around the U.S. flag, Morrill said. Well, that's going to piss off all the Islamic Americans. You can't do that. We need to burn that sucker. Well, the Urban League has declined to hold its conventions in South Carolina until that flag is gone. Really? So if we put up Confederate flags in every state, you'll leave?
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
What's to love? Come on. Yes, so they're not going to go to South Carolina until that flag is removed, but Morrill pledged on Monday to hold its national meeting in the state once the flag is removed from the Capitol grounds, meaning that they'll, be able to bring about $200,000 to the city for. Yeah. Well, Charleston Trident Urban League President Otha Meadows called the sight of the flag on the grounds in South Carolina's state capital salt on our wounds. What wounds would those be? The ones suffered by generations and generations and generations ago? Those?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah, where's your wounds, bitch? Well, the hollow argument that display of the flag carries no racial animosity is belied by the fact that it was raised over the Capitol in 1962 in direct response to the civil rights movement and desegregation, says James McLaughlin Jr., president of Columbia Urban League. If we are to truly put those dark days behind us, we must put that flag behind us as well. Well, I kind of agree. Bend over and I'll put it behind you. And the battle flag was removed from the State House dome in 2000 in a legislative compromise that raised on a pole near the Confederate soldiers' monument on the north side of the State House, just steps from Main Street in Columbia. Under terms of the compromise, it can only be removed by a 2/3 vote of the legislator or 2 white hands. Well, House Speaker Jay Lucas on Monday issued a statement asking for lawmakers to quickly resolve this issue. We don't want another Ferguson. Well, the intense and difficult debate that took place in 2000 over the Confederate soldier flag was ultimately resolved by compromise, he said. Wednesday's unspeakable tragedy has reignited the discussion on this sensitive issue that holds a long and complicated history in the Palmetto State. Moving South Carolina forward in this terrible tragedy requires a swift resolution of this issue because the flag did it. Well, the key lawmakers there said the flag issue should be debated next week when the legislature convenes for an extra session to complete the budget after adjourning June 4th. Can only take up budget matters unless lawmakers by a 2/3 vote agree to consider any other pieces of legislation. Not going to happen. Senator Larry Martin, a Republican who heads the Judiciary Committee, says that he favors waiting until at least next week to debate the issue, but not really then either. Obviously, he says the national view of this is that it has really spawned over the weekend by a bunch of idiots. And an even greater understanding of how folks outside our state view us because of its presence on the grounds. I think it's regrettable we should get too caught up in discussing it before services are held later this week. But that's the nature of us being in session, he says. Another Republican, Senator Mike Fair, suggested waiting until January to debate the issue when heads are a little more cooler. There's just no reason to stoke the fire, he said. It's almost being opportunistic. Well, the NAACP, of course, with their white president, has apparently long called for the flag's removal from the State House grounds and has urged a tourism boycott of the state since the 2000 compromise moved the flag's location. The NAACP, upon finding out it has a white president, declined to comment. Well, yeah, they declined to comment, but of course, William Cornell Brooks, CEO of the NAACP, said last week during a visit to Charleston, he said the shootings at Emmanuel AME Church are, quote, the act of a racial terrorist and must be treated as such. The medal will be awarded next Thursday. I'm kidding. I'm such a dick.
Yes.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling. Always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's the American. Look how they took the country away from England.
England again. Yeah. Well, as the debate for the flag, which was clearly at fault, goes on.
Yes.
And of course, we can expect the Hyundai car corporation to, go bankrupt now. It was, of course, their car that drove him there. Well, no, it is. You know, I lost friends on Facebook, friends that I've had for years, friends that I've actually met toe-to-toe.
Yes.
Yeah, people that I thought had half a frickin' brain in their head. Yeah, this one gentleman, Michael Graves, he and his wife.
Yes.
And, of course, actors in New York have been for years. They didn't really do anything big or good, but you know, I kind of looked up to him like some sort of a, I don't know, role model or something.
Yes.
And, you know, he was a cool guy, but he went off about this on Facebook, and he's like, if you think this isn't a gun issue, then you need to unfriend me. So I did. Yeah, I said to him, I said, well, compadre, looks like we're going to part trails here. Yeah. Told him that until people start looking at, I don't know, the mental health of these people, you're going to continue to have this over and over and over again. Yeah. So, yeah. Adios, my friend.
$88,000 a year they make.
Louis, shut up.
That was a mistake on my part.
Right. Well, whether it's the flag's fault, the car's fault, or indeed my frickin' fault. Whatever, I'm going to blame Gilbert anyway. Walkers, yes. No, not zombies. No, but walkers link arms across Charleston's Ravenel Bridge today. Charleston, South Carolina. Thousands of people gathered on either side of this city's iconic Arthur Ravenel Bridge just before sunset yesterday. Yeah, it must have been yesterday because it ain't sunset yet. Yeah. And, of course, marched across in showing of solidarity and healing. Solidarity. Let's think about that. Was there some sort of union breach here? And really, you got to ask your question: what is solidarity on? What?
Yes.
What are we being so solid on?
Yes.
And indeed, you know, we're talking about this stupid Confederate flag crap.
Yes.
Where's the big movement to make Africa get rid of their flags? And huh? I mean, the Dumb and Dumber guy was wearing a vest with African flags on it. You know, they get
crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
But it's not about love, Louis. Anyway, underneath more than a 2-mile span with towering cable supports, dozens of boats gathered and blew their horns for racism. Yes, they blew their horns, of course, in support of these solidified people.
Yes.
Yes, while cars honked as they passed on the bridge, when the marchers from the two sides met near the middle, they cheered and clapped and broke into songs, including "This Little Light of Mine." Really? Well, Juliet Marsh, 56, of Somerville, South Carolina, described the walk through humid air and temperatures in the 90s as tough, but, it was exhilarating. Yeah, she says, it feels great. There's so much love out here. Well, you know, ma'am, I would submit to you.
Yes.
Yeah, you get yourself into any brothel in the United States. There's so much love in there. Well, of course, the goal was to have 3,000 or more people from, of course, all races so they don't look bad. Yes, to have them all stand hand in hand across the bridge. Organizers said that they wanted to show that hate crimes won't be tolerated in their cities or anywhere else. Authorities said the white gunman was welcomed into a Bible study last week at historic Black Emmanuel Episcopal Church. Really? Because the last time I went into a black church, I left after about 4 minutes because of all the stares. Serious. All you saw was these little black heads and these big white eyes. Okay, of course, I did that last night in downtown Manhattan, but... Well, before the march, Shulonda Powell, do you think she's black? Shulonda Powell said that she drove 45 miles from McLennanville, South Carolina, to participate in the bridge walk because she wanted to show her solidarity with the victims. Well, to that I would submit to you, Shulonda. You'd have to be dead to do that. I grew up in the AME church, so everyone is family, she said. Isn't it funny how all the dead are family? She says, I want people to learn from this experience and see everyone coming together. Well, you can at the brothel. The bridge is named after a former state lawmaker and vocal Confederate flag supporter. Yes. Well, hey, at least this time it's not, named after a grand dragon. You remember that Ferguson Bridge, of course.
Yes.
Whatever. The Slangs have renewed calls for the flag, of course, to be removed from the South Carolina State House grounds, in part because photographs of suspect Dylan Roof in a purported manifesto showed him holding Confederate flags. And again, I would submit the African ones stitched on his vest. Come on. Well, less than 2 miles from Emmanuel, someone vandalized a Confederate monument. Do you think it was black people? Oh, wait a minute. They painted Black Lives Matter over it. Well, city workers used a tarp to cover that graffiti and law-breaking. Photos in the local news websites from before the tarp was put up showed that the graffiti in bright red paint, along with the message, quote, "This is the problem," the idiots put hashtag racist. Black folks out there all over the USA, you can't click on paint. It's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Well, and what about those New York killers? I bet you're all asking.
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes.
How are those New York killers doing? Well, they're sunning themselves in Florida. Okay, they're not. They're I don't know, they're hanging out in some cabin. Yeah. New reports today, DNA of escapees has been found in a burglarized cabin and has been put back in their jail cells. Yes, the DNA smears were bagged and put in the cells early this morning. End of problem. There we go. Oh, if it could be only that easy.
Yes.
Well, the surge of activity in the search for the escaped New York State killers Richard Matt and David Sweat was ongoing today after their DNA was reportedly found in a burglarized cabin. The attention on the cabin, about 20 miles west of the prison they escaped from, came after a witness saw someone running in the woods on Saturday. WPTZ in Burlington, Vermont reported officers subsequently flooded Tiny Owl's Head in Franklin County, where the command post was established and police arrived with, of course, the ATVs. Well, at a noontime press conference today, the state police spokesman Major Charles Guess would neither confirm or deny the DNA results. He did say, however, that DNA tests have occurred, but that we are not prepared to release the evidence at the current time in order not to be jeopardizing the investigation. Then why the Christ am I wasting my show time reading it? Yeah. Stupid headline says, DNA found in the cabin.
Yes.
Well, we can't say it's the DNA.
Yes.
Well, according to CNN, NBC News, WABC, and other news outlets that we could find, officials briefed on the search said a positive DNA match was found from both suspects on food found at the camp. The developments came as police shifted their attention from an area almost 300 miles away near the Pennsylvania border. In Franklin County, acting district attorney Glenn McNeil told reporters that it was obvious the cabin had been burglarized, but he couldn't say what was found at the site or if a search warrant was executed. Someone close to the investigation, who will not be named because they're not authorized to talk, said they found a couple of those adult raccoon sex suits. Yes. He also urged residents to be very careful during the search for escaped killers whom authorities described last week as posing a significant threat to anyone who may come in contact with them. Be inside with the doors locked and very diligent, McNeil warned. During the noon press conference, Major Guess warned residents and camp owners to be vigilant. He also appealed to people with surveillance cameras to check their footage and alert authorities to anything that might be suspicious. Yeah, do our jobs for us. Come on. Now, the law enforcement activity in the area intensified on Sunday. Franklin County resident Amy Pulsifer, manager at the Trailside Bar and Restaurant, told CNN that she was working Sunday evening when things got crazy insane. Yes, with helicopters swooping overhead, state troopers setting up roadblocks. One trooper, CNN reported, asked Pulsifer for a map of snowmobile trails in the area, which is a winter ski resort. I'm kind of excited, but nervous at the same time, Pulsifer told the channel. Now, when it's in your backyard, it's kind of crazy, she said, adding that she planned to go home and unlock her doors and put on some negligees and wait. It's kind of exciting. Maybe I can get diddled by a prisoner. Well, you know, it's the right day for it, too. It's National No Panty Day. Well, meanwhile, the Vermont State Police said Sunday that the New York State Police requested for assistance of Vermont's Tactical Support Unit, but was unclear where they had been sent. Vermont is about 30 miles from the prison. The two men escaped from the maximum security Clinton Correctional Facility in Denmora near the Canadian border up on June 6th. Police said the two used power tools to drill through walls and cut through steel. They then cut into a concrete tunnel that led to a manhole about a block from the prison. Sweat was serving a life without parole after his conviction for the murder of a Broome County Sheriff Deputy Kevin Tarsia. Matt was serving 25 years to life after his conviction of murder, kidnapping, and robbery. He kidnapped, tortured, and killed his former boss and then dismembered his body. New York State is offering an award of, ooh, sweet, $50,000. That's right, $50,000. You know, I could use that.
Yes.
Yes, for any information leading to the capture of either suspect, hey, it's $100,000 for both. Yeah, the U.S. Marshal Service has placed Sweat and Matt on its 15 most wanted fugitives list and is offering an additional $25,000 reward for information that leads to the capture of either suspect as well. Prison worker Joyce Mitchell remains in custody today on charges she helped Sweat and Matt escape by providing them hacksaw blades, chisels, and other tools. She has since pleaded not guilty. Citizens with information about the possible location of Matt and Sweat are asked to call a hotline, 1-800-GIVE-TIP. That goes to an Indian call center, doesn't it? Hello, sir. Thank you for calling 1-800-GIVE-TIP. I would like to tell you that...
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award. And we did.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. That is the wrong number. Yes, so there you go. I wasn't going to put the number out because I want the money all for myself.
Yes.
But once I saw it, I knew it had to be given out. 1-800-GIVE-TIP. There you go. Well, I think it's probably time.
Yes.
You don't know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yes, it's time for you all to go for a quick commercial break and me to look at Sharon's new schoolgirl pic and play with myself. Yeah, we'll be back in 2.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
The fashion houses of Europe have him on retainer. His sense of style, impeccable. His mustache is insured with Lloyd's of London. He's the newest member of the TSN team, and he's coming for you.
Winnipeg,
Get ready to paint the town burgundy.
Catch Ron Burgundy live at Tim Hortons' Roar of the Rings, Sunday, December 1st at 2 on TSN.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl fade and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I stood outside assessing the situation. I knew it could be rough in there, but how rough, there was no way to know for sure.
Hey, guys.
Daddy, it's pink!
But hey, a new house, it's a blank canvas, and we got a great one, thanks to a really low mortgage rate from Navy Federal Credit Union.
Pink?
So she's a princess. You got a problem with that?
Hoorah!
Hoorah! 4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce dryer bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
He was quite the skirt chaser. Had an eye for the ladies. Like to look at the opposite sex.
Well, you know, call me crazy. It's a hobby.
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you? Sitting behind his desk at Paramount, talking with big executives and TV people, and all of a sudden the chick pops up underneath, wipes off her mouth, and walks out the door, and Jerry doesn't have an eye.
Oh yeah. Well, you know that was Jerry, not me.
That was a mistake on my part.
I know. Welcome back to the big show today, of course. HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, bringing it to you. The Monday Mocha, coffee and cigarettes for this 22nd of June, 2015. 88 degrees, Central Park, sunny skies, and exposed thighs. Yes. Yeah, I think after this, I'll get my little Peepin' Tom raincoat on.
Yes.
Head out to the park for some fun and games, yeah.
And I think there were complaints about it.
Oh, yeah.
Where I think, like, they were saying, like, they were going to censor it or stop in Britain, saying this is against the laws of nature.
Well, yeah. Yeah. But that's okay, because, you know, I'm not doing it in Britain. Oh, no, you mean the show.
Yes.
Right. Ooh, hey, that's an interesting question with that new Universal Radio thing.
Yes.
Yeah, if they're in Britain, and they got our show on there, that could be all kinds of wrong.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back to the Monday Mocha, of course, your one-stop shop for kicking off all your week needs. That's it. That's what we do here.
Same thing.
Well, kind of same thing as what? You don't even know.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I'm in pain.
Yeah.
I love to dance the tango.
Jesus. Whack jobs. That's it. Just whack jobs.
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
Gilbert's not coming to you. He's not. I was lucky to get him on the bloody phone in his apartment.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not. No, you've got to be. Well, I think it's safe to say you've got to be paying the big bucks.
Yeah.
You know, of course, when we're talking about Gilbert and big bucks, that's 5 of them. Yes, 5 whole bucks to the Gilbert man. Yeah.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
I'll defer that to my accountant, Gilbert Gottfried. Yeah. You of course can take that up with him anytime you like.
Yes.
Yes. Well, moving on today, a little bit more on that New York killer news. Yes, it's a little story that we got from Friendship, New York. And it's, well, apparently, according to the story, not a friendly place for the killers to show up in. No. Yes, the small town of Friendship in Allegheny County near the New York-Pennsylvania border isn't accustomed to being in the spotlight. Or black people. No, but on Saturday and Sunday, it was the focus of an intensive manhunt led by state police and officers from the State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. Roads in and out of town were blocked with officers stopping each vehicle for a search as they sought escaped convicts David Sweat and Richard Matt. A tip relayed to the police at about 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday that the men were possibly seen walking near railroad tracks on Maple Grove Road. Sparked a massive deployment of police and resources to this small rural community with a population of 2,000. On Sunday afternoon, blue Department of Corrections and Community Supervision transport vans lined rural side roads where houses were few and far between. Officers in teams of 3 or 4 knocked on doors, checking out buildings, and shimmied into drainage culverts as other officers stood outside, shotguns at the ready. Jason Gage, who grew up in Friendship but now lives in Pennsylvania, was shocked that the convicts may have been spotted there. Why would you come 300 miles to a little place called Friendship, he said. It's crazy, really crazy. It's hard to know what to say, but hey, at least there's no black people here. Well, on Maple Grove Road, hilly and wooded with only a handful of houses, strangers stick out. That's why a pair of unknown men trekking along the nearby railroad tracks was sure to draw attention, said residents. When you live up here, you notice everything that pops up, says Misty Toutman. See, isn't that a great American name?
Yes.
Misty Toutman sipping coffee. See, she's a coffee drinker, too. Sipping coffee on her porch Sunday morning, listening to Coffee and Cigarettes. If someone comes along you don't know, she says, you notice it, especially if they're black. Well, with a 12-gauge shotgun slung over his shoulder as he checked on the horses in the paddock and walked his property, her husband, Frank Toutman, said that he and neighbors are being extra vigilant as the manhunt continues for the convicts who escaped from Clinton Correctional Facility in Danmora, New York. If you don't want someone walking out of the woods and up on your family, Toutman said, we're not going to let this stop our Father's Day barbecue. We'll just blow their heads off. The moral of the story is don't F with the barbecue in New York. Yeah. Well, at TC's Diner in Friendship, residents swap stories of having their homes and properties searched over plates of Father's Day lunch. Some expressed skepticism, about the tip. Others said they were surprised by the overwhelming police presence. Others said if Matt and Sweat are indeed in this part of the state, they might be surprised to know how many residents are well-armed and prepared to defend themselves. I think they went the wrong way.
Yes.
If that's where they went. Sunday afternoon, State Police Major Michael Corretto, commander of Troop A, held a press conference to update residents of Friendship about the search. He said, while the sighting there of Matt and Sweat was so far unconfirmed, it was credible. We interviewed the witness at length, and a determination was made that his investigative lead should be investigated, he said. The search included aviation and canine search teams. We will continue to search this area until all leads have been exhausted, Cerretto said. As we have in other areas of the state, we will search under every rock and behind every tree and structure until we're confident the area is secure. Oh, when asked, did they think they'll find the New Jersey Devil? Searchers said, yes, we're confident.
Yes.
There you go. So, decades and decades of stories about the New Jersey Devil. They're going to find out. They're going to. Well, he says anyone who believes that he has spotted the men should call 911, local police, or the state police tip hotline at 1-800-448. Thank you for calling Escape Tip Hotline. No, seriously now, the number is...
Yes.
1-800-448-3847. Or you can even email to crimetip@troopers.newyork.gov. That's .ny.gov. Yes. Well, he also asked residents living near the state and border to maintain their vigilance and blow away anything that moved. Well, as stated previously in the show today, the state is offering a reward of $50,000 for information that leads to the capture of either suspect, or $100,000 for both. Yes, the U.S. Marshals Service has placed Sweat and Matt on the 15 most wanted fugitives list and are offering a further $25,000 reward for information that leads to the capture of either suspect. And the story goes on, and I don't care. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's just more of the same crap.
Yes.
It's just,
$88,000 a year they make.
You are talking, I believe, about the state troopers. Yeah.
$88,000 a year they make,
right.
Approximately average,
right.
Let's say.
Yeah.
And there's 1,000. That's $88 million a year that we're paying as taxpayers.
Well, I know, but I don't know why you keep going on about that, Louis, because, they're keeping us safe. You know, it's not like we have to live in constant fear and arm ourselves or anything. No, but moving on today, we've got a big story. This this sucker should have been right number one top slot if you ask me.
Yes.
Well, and it's not even funny, you little imp. It's about Spider-Man, goddammit.
Yeah.
And the story doesn't even come from New York, where it's supposed to. Yes, Washington today. Even Spider-Man can't unravel the nation's patent laws, and the Supreme Court ruled today. The justices turned thumbs down on an effort by the inventor of a Spider-Man toy to pocket royalties beyond the expiration of his patent. The wristband toy, which shoots foam string, became the basis for Marvel Enterprises' popular Web Blaster.
Yeah.
Yes, it was tempting because the Supreme Court precedent that blocked Stephen Kimball's claim to one of the most unpopular, or was the most unpopular on the books, that 50-year-old ruling by Berlot versus Thies Company has been criticized for decades by economists and judges forced to abide by its terms. In the end, however, a majority of justices ruled that the precedent, however flawed, should be upheld. If royalties should be allowed to accrue after the patent expires, the court said, Congress should address it. Justice Alina Kagan wrote in a 6-3 ruling with the backing of the court's other liberals and Justices Antonin Scalia and Anthony Kennedy. In this world with great power, there must also come great responsibility, she wrote, quoting directly from the Spider-Man comic written more than 50 years ago. Isn't it great that we pay our Supreme Court judges so much they're quoting comic books?
Yes.
For that reason, she said, the court should refrain from overruling its precedent. Chief Justice John Roberts and Justices Clarence Thomas, oh yeah, of course he's there, and Samuel Alito dissented. Alito wrote in the Brulot, which prevents the payment of royalties after the patent expires, was based on an economic theory that has been debunked. He called it a baseless and damaging precedent. Though most patents are good for 20 years, private parties often enter into a royalty agreement that do not specify an end date. Those frequently lead to lawsuits if the agreements are breached, usually because the party paying royalties discovers the patent has expired and stops its payments. In this case, Marvel argued that it was not obliged to pay Kimball based on product sales after the patent's expiration. Two lower courts agreed, and Kimball, who has received more than $6 million, found his way to Supreme Court only by arguing that the precedent for those decisions should be overturned. And now his $6 million has gone in law fees, and he should have shut up. Yes, and finally today, well, it's about kids who lie. Oh, right, like you never did.
Yes.
Yes, kids who lie, who lie well, have another skill too, apparently. Yes. Children shouldn't lie to their elders, right? Fair enough, but hey, a new study says that the best child liars possess superior verbal working memory skills. Yes, this story comes from the BBC, so you know it's true. Well, researchers at the University of Sheffield gathered more than 100 children ages 6 and 7 and told them not to peek at answers about a fictitious cartoon character on the back of a card. Meanwhile, a hidden camera was on them the whole time. That's what I like to do to my kids here. Yes, according to the press release. When researchers questioned the children, spotted the liars, and evaluated their ability to lie in the face of 2 entrapment questions, quote, the best liars fibbed each time, while the poor liars did it only once or not at all. And if they did, they soon recanted like little bitches. Well, writing in the Journal of Experimental Child Psychology, a book that I subscribe to, yes, the researchers say that they were most impressed by a child's ability to keep up a strong cover story for any falsehood. The United States CIA is now looking at these as recruits. Or indeed, politicians. Well, in memory tests that followed, the talented liars show more powerful working memory with words, but not with pictures. This is likely because covering up for lies involves juggling a lot of verbal information, keeping the researcher's perspective in mind. A project leader tells the Telegraph, parents may not want kids to lie, but when their children are lying well, it means their children are becoming better at thinking and have good memory skills, says developmental psychologist Alina Hoyka. We already know that adults lie, and we do not. Yes, adults lie approximately a fifth of their social exchanges. So at least one show out of every week.
Yes.
I'm making everything up. There you go. Yes, approximately a fifth of social exchanges lasting 10 or more minutes. So it's interesting to know why some children are able to tell more porkies than others. One possible surprise from the study is that only 25% of the children cheated by peeking at the answer. Another recent study found an interesting consequence of lying on Facebook, but we're not going to go there because I don't want to be found out. That's right. So there the hell it is. I want to thank the one, the only Mr. Louis Lawless in the house for being here today and actually providing some sort of questions that were relevant to the shit. My personal favorite was how many families I had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
I know. Well, we'll talk later about the rest of it, you bastard. Also want to thank the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried for being here again today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
And thank you to all of our listeners all across all the platforms and soon to be on that big new Universal one. It's going to be kind of cool, I think. Who knows, Gilbert? We might get a TV show. Well, you know, they say Universal Radio, it's where the stars are.
Yes.
You know. We shall see. Sharon Chesley, Devlon Crawford, Polly B shooting the shit. All the listeners there, Aaron, Topless, anybody. Thanks for listening tonight. And hey, remember, we got a Straight Talk coming up tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, don't forget to miss that one. 9 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, your coffee and cigarettes tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on the button. We'll check you later. Have a great week, gang.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.